Hello there. Back with another video. This one's a 4v4 on the Geonosis, I think. Yeah, Geonosis. It's a bit like desert, but it's not quite desert because it's got more annoying things than desert, usually, on average. Like cliffs everywhere. Ories. There's some nerfs. Isn't there some sort of wildlife, annoying like Acklays or something kicking about? Maybe not today. There's Rancors. And there's Reeks. I could have swore there's Acklays. If there's not Acklays, they're griefing. There's a Nixu. Oh yeah, annoying Stalganamites or Stalgamites. Words. Anyway, 4v4 here on Geonosis. We got Kick up here. We got Dannie, his teammate. And we have the Casual. And RvA is somewhere in between apparently. I couldn't really quite see him there on the map. The mini-map there. And they're facing off against Cal in the teal, KyloRen in the orange, a literal command in the purple, and Brat as Eden in the green, the Gungans, with his glurglings. So, bunch of nerfs, gonna eat some of them and then put them in a nursery, keep the worker production going. I see a lot of people actually not eating any of them, which is probably having a little bit of a gap, I would have imagined. This boy's building a medic to scout. Don't think there's any other food other than these little cadus and that array thing that's kicking about. These are not lurable, I don't think. They're a bit like Thambas. So I'm going to speed it up just so we can get out of the early game and get into something that's merited talking about. That merits talking about. Have a look at the civs. They must be on mirror random for this as well because they've got the same sort of civs. No Empire, no Rebels, no TF. I think the best mech civ there's the Gungans, best there the Naboo, and the Republic. And the Confederacies are sort of quite balanced, to be honest. Got RvA getting a nice little supply block there, getting housed. That looks like a rage prefab shelter being built ahead of time because of that. Know that feel. So Troop Center going down for Kick here. He's on the wing, the other wing on his team being the Casual. He's also getting a Troop Center. If we look across things, we've got Brat who's a bit ahead of him, he's building a power core already, and then we've got Cal who looks like he's the furthest behind in terms of getting his infrastructure down. So it looks like I've got 2 rushes to cover here, so I'm going to speed it up just a little bit there. I'll put it back down to default and speed it up once. So the Mounties from Kick are hitting Cal quite quickly here. I'm going to fix the scores because that'll annoy me if I was watching. And because he's opted to eat these caddies with this food processor, he's going to get bullied off of them very quickly. Has to build his power core directly at home. On the other side of things, we should see Brat maybe doing the same thing here. The Mounties first. Since everyone's had to build an animal nursery to put the nerfs in, they've got the Mountie technology unlocked, so your remaining 50 Nova when you get your basic training, you can fire out 2 Mounties while you don't have your second troop center yet and you're teching, and they can just cause damage and mayhem. Like, he's getting 2 worker kills over here. Cal's managed to build his Mounties, brought the scout with them, and he's pushed Kick back, so he's quite stable. But the Casuals is having a bit of a problem here. He has managed to get 2 trooper recruits out unmolested, so if he gets that little core of 3 that we've talked about before, he should be fine now. We see that Brat did go in Nova, so he's not actually built a second troop center. He's built some extra Mounties, but he is doing so well against his wing there that I don't think he's really going to feel the repercussions of a counter attack with troopers. So he might be able to sneak out a faster T3 there and just sort of skip the trooping element of T2 altogether. You see Kick try to do a bit more damage here. Picks off a worker, very good. Let's Kick hitting T2 now. So you see he's built up trooper recruits while he teched. I think he teched a little bit late, probably mucked up his eco a little bit. But he's going to send these troopers over, and I don't know if Cal's got a response. He is T2, but he's not built himself any turrets. He's not scouting properly, keeping an eye on this, mainly because his scout's hanging about with these guys. He's scouting it now, but he's not going to see the troopers at all, so it might give him a false sense of security here. It's still on one troop centre. Started building the second one here, but he's in for a bad time in a moment. Oh, he is? He's only just hit T2. That's even worse. I thought he was T2. He's managed to save these guys with a little bit of a wall with this war centre. Not sure why he was building a war centre so early though. This is just very, very bad for him. Lots of worker. He's pretty much dead, isn't he? So many workers to lose. Let's just move on. Cal's dead. What a surprise. First player dead in the game. Rare. So that's a bit of a hindrance for Brat's team there. Now, there's that counter-attack we sort of hinted at earlier would happen when you try to sneak out a T3 here. So he's forced to build the turret. He has got a very good wall with his buildings here. So these guys have to go through the troops, the command centre to get there. That Mountie's really fucked up there and got killed. Looks like the pockets are T3 now, so we've got a double air base here for KyloRen. Command centre, looking good for him. The troopers are going to show up though, but at least he's got the fighter out, so he needs to just defend with that. Maybe run these guys away until they're dead. Doesn't want to lose casualty. He's going to lose like 2 or 3 workers now. Brat getting caught over here. These guys' ores very close as well. Hopefully a strike max coming out from literal command, but the troopers on this team are just getting so many extra kills that they shouldn't get. That's have dire repercussions for Brat and KyloRen's team here. See the air, like this is the other pocket having to come and sort this out. Thinking he's maybe got Hollow Net and you can see what's going on. Maybe out of a place of empathy. So, a counter-attack here from Cal. The Mounties aren't really doing anything, but there doesn't seem to be any troops left from Kick here. Not completed a wall, so did get a couple of workers killed here. Not really sure what's going on here with Kick's eco. Air now as well, that's really bad for him. To be honest, his eco looks so bad that for a moment there I thought the replay had crashed. It's got like 3 farms. That's bad. You gotta play very defensive in T2 when people hit T3. It does come a lot quicker when there's nerfs in the nurseries. I almost rate Cal's spot a little bit better than Kick's now because he's got so many farms. So on the other side I think there's Geos going around as well. Need to defend with the Geo against the Geo. So RvA getting a lot of kills here. Brat's having a bad time trapped here on the wing. Quite a lot to cover in this. I think RvA is pretty much fine because he's got a fort, he's got a heavy weapons factory as well. Doing a good job to keep his wing alive. He's built all these anti-air troopers. So he should be good. Providing he doesn't get any strike max thrown at him. That would be the problem for RvA's team at the moment. Geo from purple, just killing loads of workers here. The wings are just getting massacred. It's a game of pockets now. It's an interesting turret placement. The strike max coming out from Dannie now, yeah. There's that command center. Strikes from purple. Cal's looking alright. Kick's not looking good. Not at all. RvA getting a few kills here and there with this Geo. All the air from KyloRen having to come back to deal with that. I don't think it all had to come back, but it did. So Dannie getting some kills here with his strike max. Very heavy harassed. There's another Geo. Just Kick not getting a moment's peace in this game. Couple of fighters keeping Kyle alive. So I don't know if Brat has hit T3 yet. Oh, he has. Just can't afford his command center yet. Ton of air here from KyloRen. That'd be the big issue now for RvA's team. The big threat is him going T4. Because their Naboo player is trapped here. And the Republic player, like their air civs are just not in the game at the moment. So they've got a heavy storm to weather if this boy gets going. There's the command center now for Brat. Kick again, getting raided. Just microing and killing workers here and there. I think at this point though he'd probably be better just macroing, getting himself off to T4. Conserve his air, keep it, get it upgraded. So Brat's built out a ton of strike mechs now, and he's just going to start raiding as well. You can see the strike mechs from Dannie. It's a lot of Gungan Kadu strike mechs on the go. You can track them here on the minimap, barely. So it looks like Danny's going to hit Cal, but then Brat's going to hit Dannie. He's at least got these anti-air mobiles in the way that'll take up some of the aggro, unless Brat micros. You should be able to like one-tap workers. Some mech destroyers here that'll push him away, I think. Won't want to take the casualties from that. Right, Cal calling GG, but he's completely fine really. Like he's not dead. He's not any more dead than Kick is. But he's quit. Typical. I mean, he's got so many workers he can't get them all in the command center. Right? Yeah, well, except I don't know he's got the Grenadier. Who's the... yeah. Back to the way it was. So that's really unfortunate for this team, but not at all unexpected. So they're now a man down. It's like getting a red card in football. So Brat running around looking for it. He's got an awful lot of strike mechs. He's going very heavy on the strike mechs. So he might be gearing up to go into T4 strike mechs as well. There's Danny's amount, but not as heavy as Brat's here. But he is going to Brat, who won't have any mech destroyers, I don't think. Just making tons and tons of strike mechs. We've got RvA, who is doing a push across the map with a couple of MDs and a bunch of strike mechs himself. Some anti-air mobiles, heading over to KyloRen, I'm assuming, to try and push him off Nova. Delay any sort of T4 shenanigans. Heavy raiding here from Brat. There's the T4 for KyloRen. So RvA is going to get here, he needs to put pressure on, try and keep this air from basically annihilating his team. And they'll be in a good spot, considering it's now 3v4. There's 4 anti-air mobiles. Once he gets the upgrades, he will be able to take this fight, but he doesn't want to take it right now. Like fast fighter and shields, and they should be able to kill them. I think they like 2 volley them or something. Some surprise air from the casual here. Getting quite a bit of damage on Brat because he's not really expected that. He does have turrets covering most of his base quite adequately. Just this little right hand portion that wasn't. So the fast fighters are out and he's going for the trade now. He's not going to wait for the shields, so it's a little bit better than expected for RvA here, since he's getting a few kills here. Then he's now going to have to deal with all the units as well. 1 mech destroyer, doesn't have much upgrades, might want to kill that. So yeah, just sit here. Brat running around with strikes. There's too much else happening on the map. Some strikes here, not getting any damage from literal CMD. So the air is now all upgraded and it's dealt with that attack. Okay. And it's now unleashed upon the world. Like a plague of locusts. Some more units pushing out from RvA here. Looks like he's going to kick first, surprising. I think he should have went to RvA. Kick's kinda already dead anyway. I guess he can maybe keep it a 3v3. There's the advanced fighter now as well. He's just missing shields. I think he could hit kick at any time, considering how behind he is. I would have went straight for RvA because he's not T4 yet. And this is the window that you can do damage and slow him down with. Because you're going to have a problem here where you've just got air and he's going to have ground forces and maybe get forward up and start pressuring you that way. So the more you can slow that down, the quicker you can get a transition period into like troopers out for Republic or mech destroyers. It's quite a good coverage of garrisonable buildings here for RvA, so he's not taking too much damage, but you are ramping up that time where your workers are just not mining, getting any resources. So it's hitting Dannie now, who's... I think everyone's done a pretty good job with their sort of command center placement in this game. Nothing's been too overextended. That's probably a symptom of the amount of heavy raiding that's gone on though. He's hitting Eden, not Eden, Casual here. He's taking a bit of damage. He's got his own air to cover though, and he split it up a bit, so take a bit of damage. Push from RvA getting caught here by literal command. Brat pushing out into the map now, mixing in some mech destroyers. He's going to maybe look forward behind this. There's the heavy weapons factories. He's just going to rally maybe some artillery, some pummels, or some anti-air mobiles just to support this army and start ramping up the pressure against Casual here. Kick still in a world of pain. It's not really in the game. A fort being placed this army because he's got such dominance with it. Dannie, this is a very strange move from him, flanking with less units. Not sure how that's happened, but that's pretty much just a waste of mech destroyers. So between Brat and Command here, they've got some very good map control with their actual forces on the ground. Tons of anti-air mobiles just sitting here in Dannie's base. Would be better suited up here. A quick scoop of coffee. Not scoop, scoof. Scoof. So I'd like to see some forwards. There we go. Get some map control. We want to grab up this area, get that extra carbon. There we go. KyloRen getting the troop centers down as well. Very good. Don't want to stay air forever. That's what a lot of people do. Is they just build fighters all game. That's a mistake. They're a harassment tool, not a unit composition. If it's rivers, they'll maybe let you off using it as a unit composition. Mainly because there's no space to put any other buildings down. So if you've built some air bases, you've pretty much chosen your path. A good later if you've got ACs and stuff. Keep them alive. But Brat getting the cool Gungan pummels on the go. Bit of a headbang on the go, smashing down the buildings. All we need now is a Famba shield generator and it's the dream. Heavy mech destroyers versus mech destroyers here though. Dannie's got a shield up, which is good, got some units down. It's going to help defend here. But they are going to be in a world of trouble when these artillery get upgraded and they join the fight as well. And then they've sort of 2v1 on the ground here. Because the way it's going to have to work is that we've got RvA fighting up against KyloRen here. Dannie is sort of alone in the sense that I don't think the Casual really has much ground forces. He's got a few mech destroyers here and he's got all these fighters that he's built, but other than that, his eco's in a bit of trouble. Because he's been camped with these advanced fighters from KyloRen. Nice bit of space to like boom backwards though for RvA and Dannie here. It's sort of protected, right? Tricky to sort of get into that area. Other than the fighters, of course, but they do have a lot of anti-airmobiles that are marshalled and running around everywhere, keeping things fine. This army's pushing up here with the artillery. Danny's starting to have that first taste of indecision here, where he's caught between the two. And there's the troopers from KyloRen, so RvA is not really going to be able to help him. He'll have to deal with this. He'll have to get his own sort of forward down to defend. And Confederacy are a bit of a muck about getting the right sort of unit composition on the go, so that'll be a tricky one. Another shield generator going down since this one's been destroyed. Oh wait, no, this is over here. Forget what I said. Don't know what that was. Some building. Brat not quite get his upgrades yet. He is T4. These troopers pushing him a bit. The shield generator's gone down for RvA here, so he's quite good. He can just put strike mechs in it and should do okay against these troopers just now. Until he starts mixing in some grenadiers. Gets his own shield up. No power core. Shield's positioned very ambitiously as well, just getting shot at with artillery. You kind of want to support this as like an air cruiser, some cannons, some grenadiers, shields. You kind of got to just treat the repeater troopers as like fodder, and then just introduce all these support elements to do different roles. Whereas they're like the meat shield, and if you break the ranks of things, then they can do tons and tons of damage. They build so quickly with Republic. It's kind of just losing resources endlessly. The artillery do an awful lot of damage to them. Could be more strike mechs though. An air cruiser wouldn't be bad here for RvA as well, because he's got his own anti-air turrets to protect it. And you could just one volley big groups of troopers. So Dannie has got his upgrades, he's running forward, he's really stacked up there in this bit, that's not great. You could have just walked into this and just shot all the cannons. If you just micros a little bit better. I think you could just grab like a third each time and just one volley all three of these cannons, they die very quickly. Brat's doing his anti-airmobiles there. Almost looks like he's trying to take the aggro, but he doesn't micro the rest of the units, so a little bit of a fail there. He's got these cannons that look like they're not really much to stop them, so he should be able to kill the fort and the shield generator maybe. So there's much better mechs on the ground. These are the moments where you want the air cruiser. So this cannon wonderfully placed behind this fort here. So if he tries to hit it with the artillery, it just hits the fort, I think. So that's managed to kill the shield generator here, so the troopers are going to do a little bit better. You can micro these cannons onto the units as well. They do a nice bit of damage. So you just one tap that. Now, Dannie really having a problem here. I don't think I've seen Dannie made a single military unit. That's actually not true. He has had quite a bit. But unfortunately it's not. You can't just throw mech destroyers at this army. I mean, this is a perfect game for people to make assault mechs, really. Nobody's really got the Jedi on the go. There's no speeders. I think the correct response against this army really is just like your own artillery into mechs, and then you transition later once you've got trade into assault mechs and what have you. A bit grim here for these guys, considering they're a player up. Will kick be the difference maker? It's getting some troopers out now, joining the fight, make things a bit easier here for RvA if these guys get involved. It's got all the upgrades. But Dannie is really taking heavy damage here to his infrastructure, as is the casual. He's still alive though in this little bit, so keeping himself going. But these heavy assault mechs from Brat now really playing it and doing a lot of damage. Nice volleys arc here for the artillery, getting lots and lots of kills. A lot of power cores have been built, which is good. Go convert this. Does he even have any jitter? See one. He is not invisible, I don't think. Oh, that's good. Sending some troopers over to kick. Catching all these guys going for this Nova, I'm assuming. That's the thing, there's a lot of resources up for grabs here around Cal. Look at that. Like 4 piles of ore, and then this little extra stockpile of ore. 2 piles, 3 piles of Nova. God damn. People sleeping on that. 3 months. Stalling air cruiser from Dannie, very good. Needed. Bam. So I think there was quite a good window where these guys were winning. But it's stalled out a little bit. But it's taken an awful long time just to kill the casual here. Forcing down a terrible choke as well. Just kill these buildings. He's really angry about this fort situation. There's a rage push. Nice joining of the troops here. I mean, RvA could do this as well, but they Confed have very good troopers. I would argue you should have them there. He seems to have built some artillery and sent over here as well. Very vulnerable if someone had mounties. This unit composition of pure artillery. It's looking more like a Age of Empires 3 game. People just building one unit composition in one mega army. Oh! Big shot. Air cruiser. No. Casual's on it though. Must have just picked off 2 of them. That's great for those guys. Dannie taking more shots. Not sure what he was shooting there. The shield. Yeah. So those troopers have really gotten in here and done damage to kick. KyloRen does have some air. There we go. Take what you need from your premature quitting teammate, who arguably could be stronger than Kick is right now and more of a help in this game. Oh, that's a lot of Nova to grab up as well, yeah. Not the safest though, all these troopers on the go. So Dannie has gotten his army sort of back together here. Brat should have killed all this, yeah. So Red's just going to have to migrate himself to this safe area now, hiding behind the ground force players. I think Brat really needs to just get in the middle here and support his teammates, rather than just standing around killing here. Could walk into Danny's base, I think, but I think just smashing this army is the win condition. There's a lot of nonsense that this team could do to attrition this army down if it takes the sort of rusher route running through the base. Could just throw Jedi Masters at it now and again, start converting bits and pieces. Dannie doesn't want to contest it with his army. They are saying to convert them, so that is the way to deal with it, I think. I think this army should just be here, and they should just be killing this together. Because KyloRen can't deal with all this shit with just troopers. He's gonna need to either get his own Jedi out, some air cruisers, or a really good spread of mech destroyers and troopers. What am I witnessing? They do not die quickly. Punch them. Anyway, so Brat killing some stuff that wasn't really that populated anyway. Where are these Jedi at? I feel like this boy could be pushing a bit harder. Especially now they're running around trying to kill Brat's army. Oh, dearie me. Now this is a problem. It's so dead to ACs though. Dannie just running around people's bases with units, that's really annoying. Kind of bad as well, considering his situation at home. Cal in trouble, hope he doesn't quit. Right, the Jedi here are getting on this army, some Mounties as well and stuff. Yeah, there are a lot of Jedi here, so they convert the assault mechs and it just causes chaos in the ranks. And... Right, what's Brat doing? He needs to rebuild. He needs to stop with the assault mechs for one, there's so many Jedi out. Artillery now as well being converted, like these guys need to get some anti-Jedi stuff on the go. They've stalled the game successfully, and their unit composition is going to be much, well, is superior at the moment. This guy's going to start trading now as well. Be quite safe, other than the fact that there's some troop centres here just funneling out. That's some good stalling, but I want to see an answer to this army, this composition. Be it his own Jedi or a massive air cruisers. I don't think the Mounties are a great long-term solution because of how easily they're countered by air and some strike mechs and stuff. Bought them some time here though. But most of this army ran away, right, to go and deal with this trooper situation because they want this trade. They want the full length of the trade. There's a lot of resources up for grabs here as well, some Nova. So, Brat, after losing his army, hasn't really rebuilt his as such. He did have those assault mechs over here. There's the Jedi now, though. He's got a couple of bounty hunters, but they're sitting at, shooting it at the assault mechs. But he is rallying strike mechs in now, just to cause mayhem. Which they don't have too much, like mech destroyers and things sitting about to defend, so he will get some damage. And it's going to stall things out a lot for his team, which is sorely needed at the moment. because they've sort of been hit with this premonition that their units are not too great against RvA and friends' unit composition right now. So stalling's helping them stabilise and get the right sort of units out, and then they can go back at it. And Kick isn't the richest guy, so there's not like huge amounts of Jedi. There's a good amount, but it's not like an entire control group. That's where it becomes almost uncounterable. Where you need things like air cruisers, really, because they can't be converted, and you can just like try and shoot at them where you know where they are when they go invisible. I feel like this guy's always here with his army and never pushing. Like there's not even really anything here. Just move up, take the ground. Take more land, and then you've got longer to retreat if things go wrong. So Brat's just double it down on the assault mags. Got some bounties in. Could use a lot more. It's nice with the troopers though. Troopers and the bounty hunters could deal with the Jedi. This is harder for RvA to deal with like his two control groups of artillery, wherever they are. One over here. I think they've ran out of Nova right now and they're just really trying to get the trade back online. Big deal for them. Difficult to find an angle here. Oh, the bloody range though. Shoot to the bounty hunters. Ah! Just micro! I'm pretty sure 3 volleys, they're dead. Oh my god. Why did you lose all? Yes. Big questions, to be honest. That's horrible. It's a bad time. There's a big win for Brat's team here. Trade is back online though, except for these boys, they didn't get the memo. You see purple finally pushing up though. And that's a bit of a problem, Danny. You need to also get the memo and move your trade up here, where it's safer. As they're just running through war. Kill the bounty hunter with your local man doesn't micro. Oh, they go down so easily. Teamwork, guys, teamwork. Do we have an answer for this army? This guy's just winning by default. He's just there. He's just there, and no one's there to stop him. He's just wandering through. Oh. That feels like an Age of Empires player right there. Learning for the first time how bad anti-air troopers are. We're not really switching it up, going for the full Gungan army aesthetic this game. Probably because of the Jedis. He's decided, you know what? I tried with the bounty hunters. Wasn't good. Republic turning range overpowered. Oh, micro your space bullets. Oh, could you just push? It's just there. It's just there, man. Dannie airmobiles. Make turrets. Crawl. Come on. Make one more of these over here. Crawl forward. Tighten the leash around the trade here. That's your win condition against this team at this point. Just take the trade. Took our trade. Took the trade. I'm not feeling that they've got a ground army anymore. What's going on? It's just RvA yelling at people to make Jedi now. He's maybe having a mental breakdown that he's not the Jediing player. Just screeching to himself that he can do this so much better than they can. Where's the units? I think they might be dead. Not really seeing anything on the ground. I think Kick losing all those Jedis demoralised his team into just not playing anymore. I think it's Ogre, boys. Let me see, like, one unit. Some Jedis. I think Red has some Jedis somewhere. You can't win with Jedis though. You can stall, but you're not gonna win. Assault Max. The privilege of the guy on the team with all the Jedis in the game. On patrol. Bunching up a bit. Pardon me. Slight swallowing of the coffee down the lungs there. I'm getting some kills here. Kick's sort of last defense. Throwing out some troopers, some Jedi, converting as much artillery as he can. RvA flanking with the assault mechs now. Purple getting closer and closer to the spaceports. Alright, big flank. They're going to wipe the army here, I think. Brat doesn't have the best rally point. And this, you can't really rally these units. These units need to regroup, make an army, stand in a shield, push that way. You can't just throw them out like mech destroyers. Because they're sort of symbiotic troopers and artillery. They don't really work on their own too well. It's a lot of Jedi. He's getting the trades, he's getting a lot of spaceports here, but there is some Jedi and some bombers, and if he can deal with this army and then they can keep wiping things here, they should be back in the game. Oh, this is going to be bad. Oh, they missed. They missed again. How? What? What? How are these alive? I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. He's on the trade. A lot of screeching. A lot of angry pinging. Don't you just love that? Love that noise. Wake up in the middle of the night to that noise. Screaming. Oh, units everywhere, just shooting at them, just killing them. Killing a hovercraft here and there. Here and there, just killing them. I love that we're pinging this. But not this. This is arguably worse. I lost half my trade. Maybe a bit to lose most of it up here, to be honest. Right, things are stable. It's almost like these guys took an oath to just build one unit each. The assault mechs and the Jedi Masters. Oh. Must be having a lot of Nova. They've still got 3k. Moving into this late game technology of just assault mechs. KyloRen maybe having a moment's consideration that he should have gone Jedi to deal with this. I don't think Brat's too sure what to be doing with this unit composition against this. I'd say just pure mech destroyers, to be honest. Air cruisers. They've so much of the map, like you could get big unit arcs right and flank them. Troopers are not the answer, that's for sure. So they've barely hung on. Trade's still going, and they've managed to get a good amount of units out now, and they're pushing them back. And now it's almost the reverse, where their units aren't very good against this tech swing, so they either find a response or they slowly die. But you don't need to win the game, you can just go in and say, oh GG, we would have won if Cal didn't quit. Which is probably very true. Not seeing much on the ground here. God, forgot Dannie was even a player. Throwing out strike mechs now, that's super enough. This is going to be too much to deal with, I think. It's just they've got so many players on their team in comparison. Still a lot of units here for KyloRen. Oh, he's putting this army back though, that's good for them. It's super good for Brat, it's going to give him some breathing room. Let him deal with these blooming strike mechs everywhere. Turning the AA now, that's annoying. There isn't much of a response for the Mass Jedi, so he can do what he wants. Have these guys even been trading? I don't think so. There still is a Nova for them to munch as well. That's going to be the real issue here though. Like, I think Brat and KyloRen really should have gotten trade. KyloRen should have transitioned, right? But he's still making anti-air troopers and stuff. He's not the strongest late game player. From what I remember, he was an Age of Empires player, so doesn't quite know that these units are just shit, I guess. Like, I think at this point in the game, Republic, it's Jedis, ACs, and then you use your troops as a supplemental force, not as the main composition. You could arguably have the same amount of Jedi as Kick and all this, really. With the right setup, economically. Losing this is horrible. RvA can pretty much only build assault mechs looking at his eco. It's just food and Nova. But that's alright for him considering no one's built Jedi, so it's all good. He's just fighting troops anyway. Brat with some Mounties. The assault mech police. You got a license for those assault mechs? Answer no. No, he doesn't. A lot of air now though, so things are very good for this team because you can see the support units, the air, the Jedi and then the assault mechs on the ground. It's working well together. Their only issue right now is positioning, whereas they're on the other side of the map, and this is becoming a growing threat. And there's something they need to protect, which is the trade. However, I don't think they've really got an answer to air here, so... Oh, there's anti-air mobiles coming. They got homing as well, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. I need to push for this though. So with this whole I make one unit, you make one unit coordination crap, you can outmaneuver it on a map this big. So they need to pick their battles. So if they're killing your shit over here and you can't engage it, you need to be killing their shit over here, because they can't respond. I managed to get a second group here. Should be difficult to deal with. Grenadiers would be very nice, I think, from the Gungans, for their range and stuff. Grenadiers under shields here do some really good damage. I've not seen Orange or KyloRen make any Grenadiers either. Could be getting some good shots here and there. Dannie with strike mechs as well, that's great. I think they should be over here though. Yeah, they should be right here at this moment in time, not up here. Air, out position. Oh, all you can hear is just workers dying. The massacre. Kick has converted part of this base and started building things. There's so much to cover in this game. Like, I'm all over the place. Let's make a very jittering watch, the camera moving like that, but it's an old game, like it's not that smooth for camera management, I'm afraid. A difficult one to call now, like, this should be pushing up at least. Again, I don't see some... Why does no one make Grenadiers? Like, it's so good. Like, when you're in a shield, and these are not shields, that's the best time. Best time in the game for them. Because you should get the shots off. They're so good for late game eco as well, because it's just food and over. Mounty's getting in here. Still some air, but there we go, some grands. Bam. Don't know if he's quite got all the upgrades yet. Some more Nova has been found, guys. Get on it. Please make more Jedi in air. Oh, GG being called from KyloRen. I think they've hacked it in here on the left hand side. He's just ran out of eco. They've no trade. There's a couple of strike mechs and half his base has been converted as well, and his forwards have been destroyed. Brat's still just making troops. Yeah, I think that's GG. Being called all around. So that'll be that. A bit of a back and forth this game. Probably different if Cal doesn't quit, but we all know that. Deep down, we all know. So for the people that are always whinging about this, the achievement screen. Most units turned, kick. What a surprise. The largest army, KyloRen. What a surprise. Most food, carbon, but just could have had more Nova. Fastest in every tech. Many hollows. Much buns. That's probably why I had all those Jedi with like no eco. Brat with the worker high. Right. So in the comments there'll be a link to the GBG Discord if you want to get on there and organise games and stuff amongst each other. A link to Voobly, which is this in the background. This is where the games launch from. You can find, I can launch it into single player using that. Use the EXE patch, which has some options like changing the minimaps grey, delinking the system volume, so that's just letting Windows actually decide the volume of the game, which has been a huge problem for so long. The built-in widescreen, etc. Text rendering is just some stuff that sort of improves the function of the game. Starting window mode, 32-bit color, etc. So you get that on voobly.com, and there'll be links if you don't have the game and you want to pick it back up. You can get it on GOG and Steam there for pretty cheap because it's ancient. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you haven't, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.